let's talk about these big buy downs that everybody's talking about and what they really mean. So there are two different types of buy downs. There are temporary buy downs and there are permanent buy downs. You can do one, the other, or combine them both. A permanent buy down essentially means you are permanently buying down your interest rate for the note term. So for the full 30 years of your mortgage, this is going to be your rate. What that means is that if your par, no fee rate, is at 7%, but you really want 6.75, on our rate sheets that we receive every day, there's going to be a cost for that interest rate. So what we want to look at is what that cost is compared to what the difference in the principal and interest payment is going to be. And we want to calculate how long it's going to take for that buy down to make sense. In everybody's scenario, it's a little bit different. Sometimes short term is more important than long term, but it's really going to be a case by case scenario. This permanent buy down can be bought down by any of the parties, yourself included. Now, the fun one is called our temporary buy down, and there are a couple different versions of this. There are 3-2-1, 2-1, and 1 year buy downs. So what a 3-2-1 buy down is that essentially for the first year of your mortgage, you are going to pay 3% less than your note rate. So let's use 7% for example. That means the first year of your mortgage, you are going to pay on your mortgage as if the interest rate was 4%. The rest of that payment is going to be made by an account that is set up at closing with temporary buy down funds. And I'll get into that in a minute. You're going to pay the payment as if it's 4%, and every month it's going to be gapped by this account. The next year, you are going to make your payment as if the rate is 5%. And it's going to be, the rest of the payment is going to be gapped by that account. The next year, which is going to be your third year, so 3, 2, 1, you're going to pay as if it's 6%, again, gapped by that account until those funds are depleted. The fourth year, you're going to pay as if that rate is 7%. Here's the cool part about the temporary buy down, is that if you refinance in year 2, any unused funds in this account here are going to go towards paying off that principal balance when you refinance into your new loan. So the payment savings on a temporary buy down are immediate and pretty significant. That being said, the people that contribute to the temporary buy down are different than can contribute to a permanent buy down. The reason is it only makes sense if someone other than yourself is contributing to that account. You want to make sure it's the sellers that are contributing to that temporary buy down and not yourself, because it's just real funds. It's not necessarily like it's a permanent rate buy down. The sellers we typically see contribute to those. Buyers sometimes can make up the difference if they don't give enough for a full buy down. But that again is a conversation that we would have together. You can combine down the two so that your permanent note rate ends where you want it to as a worst case plan, right? Plan for the worst, hope for the best, and then you can utilize that temporary buy down. Now, something that your agent and I will go through is how much money is going to be needed for the temporary buy down. 3-2-1 buy downs are typically very expensive. 2-1 buy downs are the most common, and 1 year buy downs are becoming more common. So those are the two different types of buy downs that you'll see on a mortgage, and each program is going to have their different allowance on what you are able to do. But that is how those work, and each day it's a little bit different, and it's all based on interest rates. So if you have any questions on it, don't hesitate to ask.